Welcome back, Joe Lee and the Bullis School from Maryland to the Arcadia Invitational. Joe, we've certainly missed your smile and your competitive spirit. We've missed Bullis showing us exceptional relays and phenomenal individual performances. Quincy Wilson 45-48, the boys relay 309-14, girls relay 338-72, girls all-time meet record, boys number 2 all-time, only behind Muir. They ran 308-92. Quincy breaks Michael Norman's record. Mission accomplished, sir?
Yeah, overall, we just wanted to come out here, and it's been so long since we've been to Arcadia. I just wanted to come out here and just kind of feel it out again, and we're still at the very beginning of our outdoor season, so we're still putting a lot of things together. Shout out to all these California teams who've been doing this since February. I mean, we've just started running on an outdoor track 2 weeks ago. So this is a lot of things that are we're still, getting together. We're hoping to have it together sooner rather than later because we got a pretty big meet coming up in 2 weeks. But all in all, I think it was a great meet. We saw some great things, and we let a few things get away, like the 4x1. But hats off to the 2 teams that came in first and second. But it's very early for us, and we're still putting the pieces together. But once we put them all together, I feel like we're going to be who we have been over the years, and I'm excited.
Mya Arrendell having one of the great impact freshman showcases ever here, not just for your program, but in any athlete. 11-27, 23-17, obviously adding to the victories overall. But I appreciate you identifying the historical nature of that 4x1, sir, because I never thought that I would be saying out loud that Bullis runs 44-92 and took not first, not second, but third. I mean, you have been part of so many amazing, deep relays on the girls and the boys side. To see that from Rosary and Calabasas in your group on April 11th. This isn't June at Franklin Field. This is April 11th. How much does that excite you for where your group can go and where this event can go by the time we get to June?
Yeah, it does. I mean, again, not making any excuses. Like the best team today won, and that was Rosary and Calabasas second. I mean, we just made a critical error. I think everybody saw it. Yep. I wish I had that one back, but you don't. So no one's no one's crying. There's no crying in baseball, and there's definitely no crying in track and field. So, but I'm proud of them because they competed. They competed. We have not had a lot of time because we've been on the road so much, and we've had 1 day of practice in probably the past 2 weeks, and that's tough because practice is when you can clean up some of these things. And then you're flying cross country, you got to acclimate to the time zone. I don't even know what time it is at this point because my body clock is just on.
It's 1:45 in Maryland, sir.
Who knows, right? But the fun part is we got out here to compete, and when we came out here in the years past, we've done really good, and sorry, Quincy yelling. In the years past, we've had some success, so it's good to pick back up on that success, and we'll do a little better job too of planning and strategizing, just kind of all the different events, because even since we've been here last year, there's some new events, and we're trying to get a balance of the individual performances which we need, and then we need some practice on these relays too. But I mean, it's a good experience, and we definitely look forward to coming back.
Not just for Quincy Wilson, but for all your seniors. Like, how much does it mean to you that they got to be part of the Arcadia experience and continue to add to the Bullis legacy and the Arcadia legacy? Because the reason that I say that we missed you is because I think about all those seniors that I would have, whether on relays or individual events, that I would have loved to have seen here. And I don't know what's going to happen in 27 and 28 and 29, but if this is the only time that we see Mya, then that would be special. We know it's the only time we're going to see Quincy and your other fellow seniors. But how important was that for you? Not just because he's an Olympian and national record holder and whatnot, but just for him to have that experience of what the group had back in 18 and 19.
Yeah, and so I have my graduated seniors upset at me, like Sidney Sutton and them. They're like, "You never took us to Arcadia." I'm like, well, "Sorry, we did our best." But Arcadia is special. It's one of the best meets in the country, as we know, not just because of the competition, but the way that the meet is run. And there are even things that they're even looking on to do even more next year. And I was talking to the meet director a little bit about that, and we're excited. But we just love to compete. We just want to line it up. We'll line it up against people in Florida, people in New Jersey, New York, Jamaica, California. We just love to line up and compete, and it's fun. We don't have any grudges or rivalries. We don't. Our kids, as you know, they're very well mannered and very respectable and good character people. So we don't beef, but we love to compete. We again had a good competitive experience this weekend, but we're looking forward to even better ones. And come June, when we finally get a chance to get our turn with the weather, I think we'll see some pretty significant outcomes on the track.
For people that don't know about how special Mya is now, but just like her belief in her work ethic and her character and and her team first approach. I mean, obviously you've had so many dynamic freshmen, so many impactful freshmen, on the women's side and the men's side. People always have that revolve around Quincy. I was like, there were a lot more that came before him. There will be a lot more that
Russell.
Yeah, exactly. They come after. But can you put words to just her energy and just kind of her her essence of the fact that what we saw today is only the tip of the iceberg?
Yeah, I'm laughing because you said her energy, and she's a ball of energy. Like, she literally is, like, she's that little sister that goes around her big sisters and just, like, won't stop. Like, she's like the Energizer Bunny. She's funny. She's fun to be around. The first time I knew she'd fit in is when we were in fall training, and she just randomly tackles Cassidy Hopkins.
Okay.
I'm like, what are you doing? So she's just a fun, loving kid. And we've tried, we've known about her talent. So when I talked to her mom and her parents just really wanted to instill, like, we're not in a rush here. This is something that we've seen, unfortunately, in the past, with folks like Quincy and Masai and such. And we just really want to make sure that she develops, as a person first. And we don't want the pressure of, you have to do this and, putting her on a very high pedestal too early. Because that stuff can be very difficult for anyone to navigate, but especially a 14-year-old child. So we realize that she's a person first, and we are slowly working on opening up different opportunities for her. But she just loves to have fun, and this is a sport. They should have fun. Same thing I tell all the kids, like, listen, we're gonna go out there and compete, but let's have fun. Never stop having fun. So it was a good meet for her. Good meet overall for our team. Again, it wasn't a perfect meet for her either. She's got some things that she knows her and I talked about that we need to work on, and we're going to do that, and we're all going to do that because we're happy but never satisfied.
Absolutely, Joe. Last thing, I would not be journalistically credible if I didn't talk about Pepsi Florida Relays Arcadia Invitational as the bridge to the first stop at Franklin Field and Penn Relays. Just again, getting, whether it's a freshman or a senior, but just getting them reps in an environment like this, because like you said, practice has been at a premium with all the travel, but just to get them in competitive atmospheres and environments, knowing that Penn is a whole different energy and a whole different beast and animal when it comes to that. Like, are there points of optimism and encouragement and things to be uplifted about, just in terms of them being in these environments to get them ready for what lies ahead?
Yeah. Well, that's why we come to these bigger meets, because we're trying to replicate an environment that really is unmatched, which is Penn Relays. I mean, we're talking about 30,000 people screaming, and it's the USA versus Jamaica, all those kind of things. So we really try to put them in positions to where it gives them a competitive experience where they have to deal with the different dynamics of what it means to go out there and to be successful. So Today there was some adversity, but I love adversity when it hits because the adversity tells you who you are, tells you what's on the inside. A lot of them were tired today, and I love the fact that we ended the meet the way we did because that was Mya's 4th race of the day.
Yeah.
Same thing for Cassidy Hopkins. Like they've been battling, and this is, again, we're not up the street, right? So that tells us, even though the times were not as fast as they were last week, it tells us the grit and the resolve of this group. And same thing for the boys. So we're moving around a little piece. We're kind of figuring some things out. We want to see what we have and putting people in different places and positions. But yeah, I mean, best believe all roads lead to Penn for us. And if there's one thing you can count on is that we're going to be ready to go.
11:27, 23:17 for Mya, 45:4 for Quincy, 3:08:72 for the girls 4x4, 3:09:14 for the boys 4x4. Bullis back in that spot that we appreciated so much back in 18 and 19, and so great to see Jolie smiling and ready for the next challenge ahead. Hopefully some practice and in between now and then, and some sleep as well. Joe, always a blessing, a pleasure, and a privilege and an honor. You stay healthy, the group stay healthy, and best luck going forward.
Likewise. Thanks so much.